Gil Weinberg is a trained pianist who loves to play jazz.
I like the improvisation aspect of jazz.
He also loves technology.
I'm also and always looking for how can technology enhance and extend what is possible by humans.
He was looking for a way to combine his two interests and take musical improvisation to a new level.
I wanted to use musical thinking that a human will never use.
So he decided to build a robot, and he needed help with the mechanics. That's how Scott Driscoll came to be involved.
Scott brings his mechanical engineering skills, also computer science skills. I'm bringing my musical ideas.
Together they built this. His name is Haile. He's a robotic drummer.
So here we have a very short demonstration of how Haile can recognize when I play a low note and when I play a high note and repeats it. So, low, high, low.
But Haile can do a lot more than just copy sounds.
So obviously Haile can imitate, but just for imitation we wouldn't have built this robot. The promise is that Haile would listen to me and play something different, building on what I played, have the basic feel of what I played, but improvise over it.
And in the process, Haile plays music in a completely different way than humans.
Not only in terms of playing faster than humans, which it does, or more accurate, but cognitively, play different kind of music. Create music that cannot be played by humans because they cannot create the mathematical functions, and they just don't tend to.
He does this by listening to the music first.
We say the robot can listen, but it doesn't actually have ears on the head, as you can see. It's got microphones inside the drum, and these are so it can listen to individual drums without crosstalk.
Then Haile analyzes the music with software designed by Gil and Scott.
We want to enhance and to extend the musical experience by injecting the human way of playing music based on expression and emotions, injecting it with algorithmic thinking that robots can provide. And hopefully this clash will create spark that is new and interesting, that will create and lead to new music.
When they began building Haile, he didn't look like much fun to jam with.
When we first started, it was just this right arm over here, just the metal part, just bolted to a 2x4. And that was a good platform to test the basic functionality of the computer listening and the solenoid playing.
They wanted a robot that other drummers would respond to.
Sometimes you want to look at a particular drummer and see how he or she plays in order to get a better sense of how the music works. It's very important, and there are many studies that show that synchronization, especially in improvisation, the visual cues are very important to create a more cohesive musical outcome.
So they had an industrial designer give him a shape, and they cut his form out of wood. And the wood turned out to be Scott's first big challenge.
My background is with making metal robots, where you know the metal is not going to bend or flex or change in the humidity, so it was kind of an interesting challenge to start off designing for wood. I mean, there's all kinds of things that I didn't know about, like how many screws do I have to put in wood to have it hold this amount of force? The robots are fairly heavy, and how much does the wood flex?
His next big challenge came when they decided to take Haile on the road.
We had a concert in Paris. It was a nice gallery, many people came, and just after 4 minutes into the piece, a wire broke in one of the arms, and Haile stopped responding. And we had nothing to do but to look at each other and excuse ourselves shamefully out of the stage.
After that, Scott spent a lot of time trying to make Haile as bulletproof as possible.
In its current state, I've tweaked it enough that I'm fairly certain it's not going to break on me.
Since creating Haile, Scott and Gil have traveled all over the world, performing for thousands.
My hope is not to replace musicians with robots, obviously. Not that we can if we wanted to. I think we're far from that in terms of artificial intelligence, mechanical operation. So even if we wanted to, probably this is not what we should do, but we want to enhance and to extend the musical experience.
Free-form, improvised music that's not so robotic. Inspired by, ironically enough, a robot. Now that is innovative thinking.